welcome to the biggest review of Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. This is a movie we have just seen featuring our favorite movie monsters, King Kong and Godzilla.
Are they your favorite at this point?
I mean, who else is there? I don't
Gremlins.
know. Gremlins.
If we
might
got to
be better.
make an like a tier list.
Tier list of movie monsters, Gremlins is pretty high.
Godzilla, every movie, Godzilla's going lower.
Yeah.
He might be below Chuds at this point.
No, but you have to see the new the Japanese Godzilla movie, and your opinion of Godzilla is going to go
Where
up.
the monsters are the Japanese treatment of the Chinese, the rape of Nanking.
The enemy is genuinely the Japanese government, but it's more that they were mean to their own people, not the Chinese. The Chinese don't enter into it because you can't sell movies.
How come the Chinese don't ever get a radioactive monster where the eyes go the other way?
I don't know. Where the eyes go the other way. Did you ever see the North Korean Godzilla movie, though?
What?
Yeah, it's not called Godzilla, but there's like a North Korean monster movie that is famous, that is just like a Godzilla ripoff.
Huh.
It's actually like pretty fun to watch. I forget the name of it.
It's like a big reptile.
It's like a big rubber
laser
costume, and he's like destroying everything. And I think all the North Koreans got to work together to take him down. And somehow they smuggled the movie out in like the 70s. And
oh, that's cool.
yeah, it is cool.
Good for them.
We should watch that.
We should be
sometime.
funding some North Korean, like the CIA funds movies in America. We should be funding cool stuff. But I mean, me and you. We should be funding like.
They should only need $20,
Married
right?
with Children, a new season of Married with Children, and start from season 3 though.
Yeah, I'd watch more Korean cinema.
Oh,
Ow! We are so much trouble.
Hey, gee, pig! I showed her our shoe at the shoe store.
Anyway, racist impressions out of the way. This will be our no spoiler review.
Oh,
of
thank
the
God
movie.
you reminded me.
Yes, we will not be giving away any plot details. However, we do have a full spoiler review available at the Biggest Problem channel. You can go to youtube.com/biggestproblem, where we talked about this movie for, I think, an hour or so.
Yeah.
Getting into depth on that. So do check that out if you want the spoilers.
So many spoilers, you don't even have to go see the movie, and you shouldn't.
Well, you should not see the movie. I'll say that. I mean, my recommendation is, yes, just watch a review about how bad it is. But if you are planning on seeing it and you don't want spoilers, you have this. This is a bad movie. This is a tremendously bad movie.
Yeah.
There's some stuff to like, some visual stuff.
Not as many fights as you need.
Yes.
There needs to be a signal. They need to cut it down to just the fights.
Honestly, they need a cut that, yes, they need
Get
a
rid
cut
of all the women.
all the women and all the human bullshit, which was all terrible.
Put mustaches on the women.
Sure, so it's better to watch. You're like,
tune them out.
Oh my God, there's no women in this movie. Just all these
weird
men with slight builds and weird mustaches that are a little late.
Even on the little girl, the sign language little girl.
If you wanted a movie about monsters fighting, you only get half of that. The rest is a movie about white people looking for crystals and whatever else.
Yeah, you get about 10%.
Yeah,
and it's a hell of a monster fight.
There's some cool monster fights.
I saw there's a monster tag team. It's a monster tag team. It's
there's more monsters.
Bushwhackers versus Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage when Miss Elizabeth was in the coma.
Yeah,
Godzilla and I can't spoil it.
You can't spoil it. You can't spoil it. But we're just speaking in broad strokes. You get some.
That's in the commercial.
You get some.
They always team up in every movie.
Okay, well there's going to be some team up stuff. I think they teamed up in the previous one.
Yeah.
Again, it's called Godzilla X Kong. It's not called Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay, so we know that, and the monsters team up and they fight other monsters, and that's cool, and we like that. There's a lot of this movie that is. The stuff with King Kong, I like. It's silent. There's no dialogue. I mean, it's not silent, but he's just making ape noises and doing ape stuff. And all that was like kind of like a weird PG-13 Pixar adventure that I was like, this is kind of cool. I would watch a whole movie of this, honestly. I would have watched 2 hours of King Kong just goofing around the jungle and fighting guys and going on adventures.
I guess so, like Castaway with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
King Kong.
Yeah. It would have been cool. I would have much preferred that to constantly cutting back to a white woman who's worried about, what's going to happen to King Kong?
Doing science gibberish, man.
So much science gibberish.
I hit the wall of science gibberish. When they went through the wall of goo, I was like, that's enough. I can't hear another science word from these people.
There's a lot of...
It's a bioorganic field. We have to muster our chromons, our orgons, and squeeze through it.
This movie is very poor. This movie is like surprisingly not thought out at all. All the characters feel like they've just borrowed from other characters and wrote them badly. And their dialogue is just dialogue. It's like,
has there ever been a funny Godzilla movie?
I don't know.
That was trying
Wasn't
to
the
be
Matthew
funny.
Broderick one like a little bit funny?
A little bit, and not on purpose.
I remember the part where he stands in the giant footprint. You remember that scene?
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Where's the footprint? I don't know where the footprint is.
right here. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Where's the Godzilla?
I mean, like Abbott and Costello, like the Mummy versus the Mummy.
No, they haven't done that necessarily.
Three Stooges versus
I'll tell you
Godzilla.
that Japanese Godzilla movie is not funny at all. Not a lot of goofs in that one.
Huh.
It's a lot of like, hey, we just survived a war and it sucks.
Like the beginning of Jackass 4 is probably the closest to a funny Godzilla movie.
That was good. All the Jackass openings are great. Just go watch that instead of this shitty movie.
Yeah.
Point is, I would say wait for this to come out on HBO Max and just fast forward to all the monster fighting. You can skip past white ladies pretending they know anything about science. You can skip past a black guy pretending he knows anything about science.
Pretending to be black.
Yeah, he was pretending to be black. I'm like, do black guy stuff. He's like, oh, what's happening? Oh, I'm so scared. And you're like, you're supposed to be like, oh man, this is fucked up. What the fuck's going on with this monster here?
I don't know how I felt about that, actually.
That character felt like, I forget who the actor was. You remember the first Transformers movie? There was like a black nerdy guy who gets like swatted or whatever.
I don't remember that.
Felt like that. He was doing that guy. Again, that's the weird thing about this movie is that
Everyone's doing a guy.
Everyone's doing a guy. No one. All the acting feels really inauthentic because it
Right.
feels like a bunch of people doing goofy characters as opposed to like interacting with each other like actual human
King Kong
beings.
is the only one acting,
Yeah,
I think.
King Kong felt like more human than the actual humans in this movie. I know
Yeah.
that's probably trite to say.
Yeah.
And all the humor falls flat because, as I said in our long form review, it feels like instead of writing funny jokes, they just said, well, let's just put a bunch of goofy Gusses.
How
in
are we
a
going to
room.
explain the crystals and the goo field and the gravity stopping machine?
Yeah.
Like, just you spent way too much time explaining all this shit.
All that stuff did not yet. Honestly, I don't know.
Didn't need it. I
No,
could have just
at
been
all.
going there. Oh, so
And it still
gravity's
doesn't
off
really
now?
make sense
All
to
right.
me. I still don't even know what they were trying to stop other than
Felt like a fucking video game.
yeah, you needed that moment where somebody goes, here's what's happening and why. Instead, it's just kind of like there's a bunch of monsters, they're all fighting, and a bunch of humans are there, and there's crystals and magic and
They
bullshit.
needed more weapons. King Kong had that axe.
That would've
the
been-
bad King
yeah.
Kong had a whip.
A whip, a demon whip.
A demon whip.
Yeah.
They needed like a whole
More
like Crouching
arsenals.
Tiger, Hidden Dragons, like some nunchucks.
Kong having a big axe was cool. I will say that.
You like that?
Yeah, I think that's cool.
I don't like axes in movies because I know no one's gonna get their head
one's gonna get their head
chopped
caught
off.
off.
So it's like so it's just gonna be a
That's
bunch
another
of
big problem with this
glancing
movie
blows.
is PG-13. There's like these parts where you go, oh, that was supposed to be blood, and now it's green.
Yeah.
You made green goo come out of the monster.
And they're going, oh man, he's suffering a major damage. Like, yeah, but I can't see any.
Yeah,
of
he
it.
doesn't look
Just looks
damaged
like,
at all
yeah.
because you refuse to cover everyone in blood as you should. Ultimately, this movie, I think, sucks and is not funny. God, just it's such low-hanging fruit. I mean, we said it. It's like you got a bunch of monsters doing bullshit that makes no sense. Just like make fun of that. Just go, hey, what the fuck is Godzilla? Oh my God, he just killed all those people. You know, have someone comment on the ridiculousness of it. It's like they're at this middle ground of like, look, there's two ways to do it. One is to play it completely straight. One would be to go, this is dead serious. We're scientists.
Yeah.
We've been studying King Kong and
But they can't
Godzilla.
because they got a bunch of portals all over
Right.
the place.
So, well,
you can't
but
have
I
it.
think you could do that. I think you could be like just people trying to treat that ridiculousness super seriously, and there's comedy in that. Instead, they go all the way
know.
to the like, hey, here's a guy, and he's like a dentist.
They would have to
man,
do
and-
no jokes.
Yeah.
Like no
yeah,
funny stuff. It's totally serious. We have to get through that portal.
and that would be fun. But that would be funny on itself. You
Yeah.
know? It'd be funny, like if that portal opens,
I guess you're right.
Mothra's gonna come through.
Yeah.
Mothra, what is that? An ancient demon from beyond the grave. You know, make it like over the top campy. If not even campy, I don't know what you would say, but just like play it straight.
Like the Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead they go all the way to the other. Yeah, exactly. Naked
Yeah.
Gun. Goofy things are happening, but everyone's
Instead, they're
treating it
doing
normally.
Brooklyn 99.
Yes.
Which I didn't watch because it didn't look funny.
No, because they're doing
everyone
Parks
being
and Rec.
funny.
People were mad at me for ripping on Parks and Rec. I'm like, people really
That
like
show
Parks
sucks.
and Rec.
Another show.
That show really sucks because
helmed by a
everyone.
woman.
That show is everyone is being goofy. There is no straight man. The movie needed a straight man, like a real straight man, to be just be like a serious scientist who is like, we have to take this seriously, and everybody else can be goofy and whatever.
It's all
else.
a big game to you people, and they're all like, oh shit. It's so. I felt like jumping in there at any moment in the movie. Like, can you guys?
Can you take
stop?
some of this
Can
seriously?
you be a little serious, please?
Yeah. So this movie sucks, and that's the bottom line.
Okay.
All right.
That's the 10-minute version?
That's the 10-minute version. Guys, if you want the full spoiler review, head on over to youtube.com/biggestproblem and check it out.
Yep.
But ultimately, just go watch Godzilla -0, which Dick still needs to do. You watch a bunch of Japanese people cry about nuclear fallout or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
The war.
Man, I can't
All these people who died in the war.
I can't take listening to conservative guys talking about how necessary it was to nuke Japan anymore.
Why are they talking? Why is that on everyone's minds recently? Did that come up for some reason?
They equate that with their penises.
Yeah.
So whenever they want to talk about their penis, they just they pretend to know military strategy number one, and that it was totally necessary for us to put our big penis on Japan.
Every few months, I go on Twitter and they're going, well, the reason we have to nuke Japan. I'm like, guys, we nuked Japan in the 40s. Can you stop talking about it?
You didn't do it.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it. They wouldn't have asked you.
I think it's Oppenheimer related. I think people, because Oppenheimer finally came out in Japan.
Oh.
So probably that's led to a resurgence.
Make sure that they know that
Make sure they know that it's okay that we killed all of them.
Yeah.
Tell all the Japanese people.
Make sure.
And tell them to take...
we don't owe them anything.
Well, you're telling them that. Please tell them to take the Godzilla rights away from Warner Brothers, because this is not good.
All right.
Thanks, guys, and take care of yourself.